They needed people to work cheap labor, and they have a lot of factories, not like today, and that's why we have a lot of Dominicans and Latin Americans. Good question. Yes.
En el mapa, en La Vega, es una provincia, ¿verdad? Pero dentro de esa provincia hay como pueblos.
Yeah. La Vega is a province of the Dominican Republic, she's asking, and then there are a lot of different neighborhoods and cities within La Vega, and La Vega is one of the oldest too settlement in the Dominican Republic.
Porque yo lo busqué en el mapa, porque yo soy de La Vega,
Can you go
pero
back to the map?
adentro de La Vega hay algo que se llama Jarabacoa. Yo soy de ahí, por eso yo creo.
Jarabacoa is a very cold city. Huh? Yeah, it's a very cold city, right? The river is cold too, and people love to go there. It's a tourist area. They have a lot of rivers, beautiful mountains. La Vega is right, Lucy, like next to Santiago. It's part of the heart of the country. It's huge and it has beautiful mountains. Oh, and the best carnival. Yeah, they have a lot of customs in February and they celebrate the carnivals. People come from all over the world to see the carnival because of all the beautiful customs that they realize they make. Yeah. Yes? Who colonized the Dominican Republic? Mainly the Europeans. And within the Europeans, we have not only Spaniards, but also Portuguese people, also people from the Dutch. We have some of that as well, French, but mainly Spain.
Just like the Philippines.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why you have a lot of last names. The Spanish
Yeah,
last
sounds
names,
Spanish.
like
Martinez or Rodriguez, they also have that.
Yeah. More questions? Yes.
I just want to talk about the process.
The what? Excuse me?
The process. Cuando ponían a la persona negra, ¿no? ¿Verdad? Un grupo, y a lo blanco a otro, como el color como brown, como, ¿a dónde lo ponían?
Color negro.
Color negro.
Sí.
Y era todo hablando de aquí, porque en la República Dominicana no se usaba eso.
He's asking, when you have a white person and a black person, you have someone who's brown, what color will they be?
Black.
Black. Where, though? In America?
Yeah.
But in Dominican Republic?
We didn't have that.
No.
Like
Oh,
white
Dominican Republic
here-
no había este
It wasn't
diferencia.
just white and black.
No. But it's important for you to know this. Never look at the Dominican
It's not in the
Republic
middle.
racial ethnicity
Yeah.
issues like you see it in the United States. We never had segregation that way.
Tú no lo ves de la misma manera. ¿sí?
Nunca se puede mirar la manera como aquí. Aquí, si tú tienes una gota de negro, tú puedes ser así, tú te puedes ver así como tu profesor y lo consideran como negro. Porque tiene una familia.
One drop rule.
One drop rule, it's called.
One drop of blood.
One blood.
En la República Dominicana
Un pedazo
no
de-
funciona así, ¿no? ¿Tú sabes? Exacto. Blanco, negro, jojoto, como indio, indio claro. We have different terms for the ethnicities within the Dominican Republic. So it's more complex than here. Here is easy. Black and white, se acabó. In the Dominican Republic, a lot of
O los dos
different.
juntos.
Yes, Mr.
I was just wondering, I don't know, why do you think it's like that? I can ask also to you or to, I don't know.
Because of all this mix that we had, it's complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we have people, and it also has a lot to do with the money, social class, right, Jensen?
Yeah.
A lot to do with that.
Social class, yeah.
Not only color, but social class, standard. Yeah. So
Your
it's more
family's
complicated.
surname.
Yeah.
That's all has to do with class, yeah.
Yeah.
We're divided by class in the Dominican Republic.
Rather than by color.
Yeah, like here too.
Here too.
But
too,
here,
no,
at
of
least,
course.
color, you see it that so much.
Yeah.
In the Dominican Republic, you can be rich and black, but you're considered,
At least here you have the illusion of social mobility, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I say that because, again, we haven't really, achieved, wealthy status, as a community, but
It's complicated
it's
issue.
complicated, yeah.
You had a question? No? Who? I saw someone raising their hands, no? What about you? Were you surprised when we talk about the connection between your culture and our culture? In Santiago, I was born in Santiago. We had a family coming from
Lebanon.
Turkey.
Turkish.
And we call them los turcos. And I remember them cooking this food. The food smelled like whoa, like wow. Yes. And many of them also dress differently, like, and it was great because we welcomed them into the Dominican culture, respected their culture, they respected ours. Mr. Armin?
I have one last question.
Yes.
Well, I guess why? I mean, you already said it, but I was curious. Why is it important to look at things that are like we're looking at information a lot on the internet, but you're looking at information that was like, you know what I mean, original. So I was just wondering, like, why is that important to look at that kind of? Because in the class, like we have a reading class, we mostly just read like Nuzella. We read things that someone else said to us, you know. But what you're doing here, you're reading something that's original. Están leyendo una cosa original. Nosotros estamos leyendo cosas que alguien escribió, una otra persona. Why? ¿Por qué es importante leer cosas originales? Why?
Because you can take from the original document what happened, not an interpretation of what happened. Okay? You can see it from first hand, an account of what's happening during that time. We have a website that is called First Blacks in the Americas, Los Primeros Negros en las Américas. It's a great source, and it has 70 packages of original documents from the 16th century. All of them translated into English and transcribed. Because of course you're going to understand. Can you go to resources, Jensen? It's okay. Yeah. And then go archive of resources, and then you can take number 2. And this is the document. Of course you're going to understand that. Because
What language is that?
That's Spanish, 16th century Spanish. So we have specialists. His name is Anthony Stevens Acevedo. No garabatos. That was the way they used to one of the styles that they used during that century. So that's our history right there. So what we did for this website is that we took away all the information that talked about blacks in what is today the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and we put it together in this website. And then it talks about La Negra del Hospital, remember?
Oh, yeah.
The women from the hospital. We have that information there. We talk about also different blacks being, brave enough to say, I don't want to be a slave anymore. And then going to the mountains, those were called, ¿cómo? ¿Saben? Cimarrones.
Cimarrón.
Maroons, right?
Yeah,
So we have information about that as well. We have information about women, about slavery, and also people who wanted to be free, many different topics. So what you see is that you go to the transcription, Jensen, and it gives you it gives you the information that way, you see? And then the translation is in English. So you go to the translation and you translate that in English. And then a commentary. We want to tell you what is the meaning of all this. We have that as well. And then we have the manuscript and the transcription, like next to each other. So you can learn little by little. Yes?
I was asking because like right now, everyone is making their immigration story.
Oh, how great.
And like, you'll say something different from Arabic, from Africa, from Dominican Republic. So how could we use things like this? Like I see Solange's looking at a book. Like how could we use this kind of information, which is from a long time ago, and right now we're, 2017. How could?
That's a great question.
¿Cómo se puede unir esta información?
You wanted to say something before I?
No, there's a lot of apps now, Ancestry.com.
Yes.
They make a lot of money because people want to know who they are, where they are from. And there's a saying that the more you know about your past, who you belong to, your future becomes brighter, it becomes more successful.
Excellent point. Absolutely. Great. Yes?
And the truth of yesterday has something to do with the truth of today. So it's like You cannot get away with the connections. All these things.
Exactly, and you can open up more your eyes and minds. And what we have done with this website is connecting. Okay, these 16th century documents, what do they have to do with me today? So, Jensen, if you go to the resources page, and you go to the, go back to the, go to the videos. What we have done is that we have included videos here, so we can see how that African culture, that those first blacks are still alive in the Dominican culture. And these are mainly music and rituals. I don't know if we have the volume.
Yeah, we can play.
See, we can play one, so you can listen to this.
Money, so.
Oh God. So we're going to listen a little bit to a Dominican music to see the African influence in that. All right? Yes, play.
Yeah. Can you along?
You see all the saints? That's called syncretism. You know what is syncretism? What is syncretism? That's a word that you're going to listen a lot when you go to college.
Sync. When you have your phone and you sync your phone to the computer.
That's a good one.
When you sync your phone, right, you connect it to the computer.
Syncretism meaning a mix of different things in one. For example, syncretism in religion is, okay, I take from the Catholic religion a little bit, from the Protestant religion, from the evangelical one, and like that, from the African one, and you make it your own. So you see, that's like a connection. That happened the other day in Jensen.
Okay.
Yeah. But if not, well, you see the connection between those documents and today. It talks about these African men establishing themselves in the Dominican Republic and who we are today. Well, we have to understand and vindicate that. Now, when you see a person out there talking about Dominicans being racist, you say, yes, many of us, but not all of us. How come? We cannot be all of us racist, right? But that was a great question, Mr. Armand, how to connect these primary sources to today. We have also information about Dominicans in Washington Heights. You can take away some of those and the like. Any more questions, comments?
Oh.
Yes.
Since we have Dominican students, we have, Salvador and Yemeni, are there other resources online that you'd recommend or similar projects? Because this is amazing that you have this resource. You're the only one in the world, you said, right? That's doing this type of work. What would you recommend for
Okay.
maybe other?
Right. At CUNY, we have a Puerto Rican Study Center like us. We have a Mexican one. We have a Haitian one. We don't have other. We have a Jewish one. They're from the Middle Eastern. I don't think we have one, but we have resources in the library.
Cool.
That you're welcome to come and use. And the Salvadorian, not yet. We don't have an institute yet. But who knows if the Salvadorian friend here wants to be the first one to make it happen. She's not even listening.
No.
Oh, why am I saying that you are the Salvadorian one? I'm so sorry. Okay. You're from the Philippines. Yes, I'm sorry about that. So, quién sabe si tú te animas y seas la que vas a fundar el Instituto Salvadoreño.
Aquí.
Why not? Right? Why not? Yeah. Any more questions, comments?
Are these books up for grabs if anyone wants to take books?
The ones on the card, yeah. Feel free to take some.
If you want books,
You're welcome to take some.
Is this a minor class?
Oh, look at her. Listen to the question. I love it. This year, we at last we were able to do a Dominican track within a master's degree. It's called the Study of the Americas, and there is a Dominican concentration on that. We're trying to make it also a BA, a Dominican BA, BA on Dominican Studies, a minor, a major, so we're working on that.
Teach that class.
Yeah. What was it?
You should teach that class. It's an elective, right? In our school.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, because we have, I guess,
A lot of
You know
Dominican
what we do?
students.
For example,